Alright, it's time for the ultimate tier list. This tier list is not only about how good a character is, it is also about how useful a character is and the overall performance. I've been a Genshin Impact player since day one. I have over 940 days played or something like that. And in my opinion, I got a really good overview about every character in the game, because I have almost every character, as you can see, except for Freminet, which I'm gonna get in this update because he's free. So yeah, I'm gonna have all the characters. 74 characters, that's the current amount. This is a crazy amount of characters. If you think about it, the game released with like 10 or 12 characters. But yeah, I'm gonna rate each and every character of Genshin Impact. If you're a new player, you're gonna probably appreciate this video way more. If you are somebody who already has every character like me, you can agree or disagree with me. Curious to see what you guys think about my opinions. I'm not a free-to-play player, so I really would appreciate the opinion of free-to-play players as well, if you guys agree or not. But I will try to be as fair as possible with every character. With this roster of 74 characters, I think it's getting very chaotic to build teams. It's very confusing probably. If you join Genshin Impact right now, imagine this. You just start playing, you see this huge roster, you don't know who you want to pull for. These are the 5 ranks that I put in the tier maker. Too useful to miss out. Good means good. Then replace options for good, so it's a little bit worse than good. You don't need them, but you can have them. And regret. So if you're actually a new player and you just want to know who are the best characters and want to get this out of the way and then just close the video, I would just tell you right now: Bennett, Kazuha, Zhongli, where is he? Best shield in the game, and Nahida, best off-field DPS in the game. And we'll also buff your team with EM. Really important. So these 4, I'm gonna get it right off the way. We can actually just put them there. Too useful to miss out on. So these are the 4 that you definitely don't want to miss out on. Now we come to the good part, and that's a really wide range of characters, because you can make almost every character good in a game. You can give the characters any artifacts or make them viable for your teams. Just most of the Electro characters are good because you can just simply make a Dendro team, make a Hyperbloom team, and they will just perform great. Even Dory, which is one of the worst characters with the worst kit out there in the game, even she can be useful just because of reactions and combinations out of teams. It's a really hard one for me, but we will go now one by one. I will start with the Travelers. You don't really need them. I think the only useful Traveler element there is the Dendro one. As I said, Dendro and Electro is just way too OP. The combinations and the reactions just buff each other so much. Yeah, they're great. So I would just say you don't need them, because you also will get Collei for free. Collei is now a free character. So we'll simply just put Collei already at replacement for good, because there's other options, but you don't need them. It is what it is. Going on with Amber. Okay, Amber is not the worst character in the game, but if you actually put a lot of resources in her, it is just a waste, and you will regret. But if you just have her to get to like adventurer level 40 or something before you get better character, you can definitely work with her. You definitely don't need her. There's way better options, as for example Zhongli. I would even put her as too useful to miss out, but you will get her anyways for free if the Abyss, when you reach adventure rank 20 or something. I think they even lowered that requirement. But yeah, Zhongli is still one of the best characters in the game. Definitely a good character. Kea, you don't need him because there's better options, but overall he's actually pretty good. So if you need somebody who has good cryo application with his ult, make him a battery or something, pretty useful character. Same goes for Lisa. I think Lisa is also a great character, but you don't need her. There's better options. I would actually put Barbara into good if you have constellations on her, because she can actually res. I would probably put her in replace options for good. So if you don't have any characters in this tier list, you can just go one below, and these are gonna be almost as good. Razor. I think Razor can be pretty good right now because of Dendro. Simply, as I said, Dendro just simply made every Electro character way better, and every Electro character is great. So, but there's better options. Beidou, I would even put Beidou as in good, because you can make her really useful. But I don't think a lot of people are using her, so I will also put her in replace options for good, because this video should help people give a good overview who they should put in resources. So I don't want to put Beidou in good, because if you have other options, as I said, in this tier list, you just go below if you don't have them. So you could go for Beidou. It's a good off-field DPS, does decent damage. Also the block mechanic is very underrated. Xin Chu, definitely a good character, giving you the vaporize, very good hydro application with his ult, off-field DPS, really good. Will not regret putting resources in this character. Ningguang, there's better options out there. Overall, she's okay. I wouldn't put her in good though. Fischl, definitely a good character. There's so much stuff going on in her kit that you can make use of. Even if you have some constellations on her, she's only gonna get better. She has this insane passive, I think, where when you trigger a reaction, she does even more damage. She's so good. Just build her, you will not regret it. Noelle, as of right now, because of Furina, definitely worth putting your resources in. She's a good character, making your whole team tanky and also giving you heals. Zhongyun, same for him. You can build your whole team around Zhongyun. He deals massive damage if you actually build him, guys. I think really underrated character, Zhongyun. Sucrose, I would say replacement because Kazuha is just way too good. Everybody's using Kazuha instead of Sucrose, but if you don't have Kazuha, you just go with Sucrose, okay? Jean, because of Furina, definitely good now. You will not miss out on heals with her. She will help your whole team. You have the off-field healing, decent damage, not the greatest. Also, Venera Discant set on her will just help your overall damage output. Diluc, he's good. I don't know what else to say. Chi-Chi, but there's better options. You shouldn't build her. I wouldn't recommend. Mona, oof, that's a tough one. But I would say if you don't have Kazuha or Bennett, Mona is definitely a character that will buff up your damage. Also, she deals decent damage. Keqing, good character. Also, if you pair up with some Dendro units, she is a beast. Wenti, yeah, you can replace a good character with him, but I wouldn't recommend anybody Wenti. I'm sorry, I'm just a Kazuha fan. Kazuha is stealing the show. Kazuha is the real Anima Archon, to be honest. Klee, there's better options than Klee, but overall she deals decent damage. Pyro units, there's not really a bad Pyro unit. You can do a lot of reactions with them and the overall damage output is decent. Diona is a good character. She has a shield, she has heals. Build her if you want to, she's good. Child, definitely good. Hydro character, deals good damage, has one of the best scaling ults out there. Xinyan, oh man, you don't need her, I'm sorry. I would just say this, she's focused on physical damage. You can use her if you really don't have another shield character. But overall, every physical DPS in the game is not useful. The game is focused on elemental barriers, elemental reactions, and physical doesn't really have that. You will struggle in the Abyss because Abyss is focused on elemental things. You have to destroy the Hydro shields, you have to destroy the Pyro shields, you need Hydro, you need Cryo, you need to beat Electro shields barriers. There's just way too many bosses and monsters that are focused on elemental things. Physical will not help you with this. That's why I don't like physical. I even wonder why it's in the game. Physical DPS is a regret, actually. Maybe I would even put her there. But I want to be fair here. Because she can deal a lot of damage with her physical damage. She can. Physical is just not fit for the game. Albedo, he's good. I wouldn't recommend him though. If you really are a Geo fan, you can definitely go for him though. He will help you. Off-field DPS, pretty good. Ganyu, she's good. I'm just not a fan personally of bow characters in general, but her charge attack it's so strong. She can deal so much damage, especially if you do melt with her, and she's crazy. Ganyu is crazy. If you really want a bow user and you are into holding charge attacks for your whole life, holding the button down and just spamming the same attack over and over, she's definitely the one for you. Xiao, I think it would be not fair if I don't put him in good. I just think his playstyle is, again, very boring, very repetitive. The overall jumping, ding, ding, he's fun sometimes, but I just think very repetitive, gets very boring very fast. But he's still good. His damage is good. Hu Tao, she always was amazing, she always is. You can do so many teams with her, so many options. She will definitely be one of the best DPSs in the game, so you will not miss out on damage anymore if you have her. Almost put her in too useful to miss out, but I just think if you have an actually decent build Diluc, you will not be that far apart from a Hu Tao. Go for her, she's good. Great Pyro unit. Rosaria, really good off-field DPS, but I just think there's better options, especially because of Shenhe. I also believe that her damage is very underrated. If you actually build her decently, she will deal so much off-field damage with her ult. Also, she gives you crit rate. I think some people will forget about this. Eula, I just don't like her that she's physical DPS, but her damage is insane. She can do millions of damage if you go all out with the physical DPS. And if you have her signature weapon, she's actually pretty insane. Ayaka, great unit, one of the best bursts in the game, probably one of the best cryo units in the game. Ganyu will still outperform her damage-wise, because with Ayaka, you're just a burst monster. You will always need her burst to deal the most damage, because her damage isn't as consistent as compared to Ganyu, but she still will match up to the damage with her burst. She can do like 300,000 to 500,000, do some reactions with meld. She's insane. Also, her design is so good. She's one of my favorite characters in the game. Also, really fun character to play. Sayu, better options, especially because of Jean. If you have Jean, you will not use Sayu. She's only good for movement, but yeah, she will heal. If you don't have Jean, you can definitely go for her. Good replacement for Jean. She has AoE healing, like Jean, and her rolling is pretty fun. Yoimiya, greatest pyro bow user in the game. She deals so much damage. Every auto attack, every normal attack can deal up to 60,000, 80,000 damage if you build her crazy. I would even say she's on par with Hu Tao damage-wise. Maybe they're pretty close. It's hard to tell. Maybe they're the same. Tell me in the comments. Aloy, I don't think you can even get her. Also, she's just not good, guys. Don't build her, regret. Doesn't have constellations either, so it's definitely not worth it. Don't waste your resources. Sarah Koju, best Electro buff in the game as of right now. She will buff with her C6 like 50% extra crit damage or something like that. She's insane. Also, she will give you, same as with Bennett, a lot of attack percentage bonus for your party. She's correct. She's good. Also, she deals pretty decent damage as well. Raiden. Raiden is the best Electro DPS in the game. She is the #1 Electro DPS unit. You will not regret pulling her. She is so good. She's not a must pull. You have other units that can pair up with her damage. As I said, Electro with Dendro is too broken. You will deal so much damage with Electro units. Maybe the best teams right now just consist out of Electro and Hyperbloom and aggravate damage. She's crazy. I'm really close to put her into must pull. I just think that you can deal a lot of damage with any other character as well. You don't need that much damage even. I would go that far. So yeah, any DPS is not a must pull. As you see, there is no DPS in the must pull section, because I just think that you don't need a good DPS in the game. Or you can literally just make any unit in the game a beast if you have good artifacts, good crit damage, good crit rate, or at least everybody in this tier. Kokomi is good, very good healing. That's basically it. Also with Furina, she can be a main DPS too. Toma, greatest pyro shielder. Maybe better than Xinyan, I'm not 100% sure, but he will be very useful making a lot of teams. He is the best off-field pyro applier, I think, with his ult. And if you just give him an instructor set or just build him with his big shield, you can do that. His shield isn't as strong as Zhongli, but still pretty decent. And you can make a lot of teams with him. He's definitely a good character. Just his damage is not good. He's a support character. He's a shielder. Goro, I think the best Geo support unit in the game. I mean, he's made for that. He will buff up your defense for your whole team. If you like Geo units, you need him in your team. He's a Geo must-have character. And talking about Geo must-have characters, if you love Geo damage, Ito is the #1 Geo DPS unit in the game. He will deal the most Geo damage out of everybody, until Navia comes out at least. Yunjin, very fun character because you can make a lot of teams just because of her ult, which will buff up your normal attack damage a lot. I tried so many fun teams, so if you're a fan of trying fun and different out of meta teams, Yunjin is really underrated. I like her a lot. Also, she will give you a Geo shield. She can also parry like Beidou. I would say definitely a good character. Shenhe, best cryo buff in the game. Her cryo buff is insane. If you pair Shenhe up with some cryo units like Ayaka or Shon Yun, you will deal crazy insane damage. You will not regret pulling her or building her. She's pretty good. Ye Miko, I think best off-field Electro unit. She has great damage. A little bit annoying that you always have to spam your elemental skill 3 times because she has 3 towers that will deal Electro damage. I think that's a little bit annoying, but if you can look past that, she does so much damage. She has great off-field Electro application, constant damage, great unit. Especially pair up with Dendro, as I said, insane Electro unit. Ayato sadly fell off. His damage isn't as top-notch as a lot of other characters that you see in this roster. He's still good, don't get me wrong. I just think there's better options to go for. Almost every character will outperform him. I'm sorry. Yelan, definitely on the top here. I think Yelan is one of the best Hydro off-field DPS. Now we have also Furina. I would say maybe Furina has better off-field damage than Yelan, but Yelan's ult will help you with your normal attack users like Yoimiya. Just pair up with any normal attack user that attacks super fast, and you will see crazy numbers. Also, she herself deals really great damage. You will not regret pulling her. You will not regret building her. She's crazy. She's better than Xingqiu. Almost a must pull. Almost. Cookie, I would also give her a must pull thing. She heals so much. You can build her around EM. Do the Hyperbloom teams. Almost everybody's just using her for Hyperbloom. When you build a Hyperbloom team, you will either go for Raiden Shogun or Cookie. And they will deal so much damage if you build them with EM. Also, her healing is great. Sadly, her healing costs a little bit of her HP every time. So you have to be careful about that. If you have her C6, she will be better because she will not die when she gets hit with an attack that will kill her. She will just stay at 1 HP and this will help you a lot. But she's one of my favorite characters to play with. Her healing stays on you for a long while. You just press E once, swap to another character, and you will get healed full with this character. You will also trigger reactions with it. Great Electro, off-field DPS, great Electro healer, great character. Heizu, there's better options. Go for Vendora instead. I actually crowned my Heizu because I thought it was very funny to have this One Punch Man mechanic, the huge fist. If you look for a great DPS, he can be strong. It's just not worth it because there's better options. Tainari, I also believe he's good. Even insane if you build him crazily. I think there's better options. If you want the craziest Dendro DPS, you just go for Nahida or Alhaitham. Let's also put him into good. Alhaitham is even more crazy than any other unit. I think he's almost a must pull when it comes to damage wise. Pair him up with Cookie. You will see that I'm not lying. he's too strong almost. He's making the game look like a joke. Dori, there's better options, but I like her. She will help you with your energy regen actually. She's, I think, one of the few characters that will help you with her ult, building up your energy. So if you struggle a lot with energy resources and energy recharge, she will help your team. Candace, that's a tough one. I actually like her, but I just don't think you need her, to be honest. Sino, there's better options. He's insane actually though. Since Dendro came out, he is insane. Pairing him with Nahida or Baiju. Baiju is actually a great healer. If you pair up Baiju with Sino, insane combination. But I just think there's better options. Just go, if you want a great Electro DPS, go for Raiden Shogun A or Yemiko, yeah. He's a little bit weird to play with because you need his ult up. If you struggle a lot with energy recharge, you will not always have the ult up. And without this ult, he's useless. So very inconsistent. So Nilo is very niche. So I would even put her in you don't need her. But because of her uniqueness, it also makes her super strong. Because this one thing that she's good at are the bloom reactions. And it's so good in the Abyss. If you want like a easy character to finish almost every Abyss, make a Nilo team with Bloom. The best thing that you can do is pair Nilo up with Nahida, Baiju, and another Hydro user like Furina. That's the one team that I'm actually recommending you to just beat every Abyss. That's what I've been doing. That's the easiest thing you can do. It's like free win. It's an AFK team too. She's insane. Very niche, but insane. I'm saying niche because you need to build a team around her, because her mechanic doesn't work if you put other elements in than Dendro and Hydro. Layla actually is almost as good with the shielding as Zhongli. I just think there's better options. But if you need a good cryo applicator, a decent shield, she's great. Damage sadly is not good. Aruzan, the best Anemo support unit in the game. She will buff your Vandera, she will buff your Jean or whatever you want to do. Xiao, she will buff your animal damage crazily. Vandera, actually really good unit, does really good damage. 50k charge attack, spamming. I have a video about that if you want to see it. Just pair him up with like Toma, pair him up with Furina, Bennett. He's insane. Vandera, really good damage. Also really fast overworld traveling mechanics, very useful. Yao Yao, I would say almost every healer deserves to be in the good section, but there's better options, man. Yao Yao is the best 4-star Dendro healer. I just don't like playing her because you need to swap to her and be on field. If you want to heal everybody, you need to like jump around. It's pretty fun. I wouldn't recommend her though. She's still good though. She deserves to be in good for sure. Dehia was really bad. Almost a regret unit here. But because of Furina, she's good now. She deals a lot of damage. if you buff and build a whole team just for her, I was hitting like 70k with each attack with my craziest build that I tried. So it's like 400,000 damage if you think about it with her burst. She's insane now. Make a Bennett, furina, Kazuha team and she will deal crazy amounts of damage. She is good now. The here is good. There is better options for more consistent damage because you need her ult up. Now everybody was hating on her, but I really like playing her. Mika, sadly I didn't build Mika. I have very low knowledge about him, but he's a healer and he's also a physical DPS buffer and attack speed buffer. So he's decent. He will help your physical teams. He will heal your team. I think a lot of people like him. He's probably the best physical DPS buffer. Replace for options, yeah. Kavi. You don't need him. It's not worth it. That's too many options instead of him. I don't know why miHoYo made this character, to be honest. It's very weird. He's not bad, but you don't need him. Kirara, I will put her in replacements. If you have not enough Dendro units, for example, if you want a Nilo team, you can make a Nilo team with Kirara. Very fun, actually. Also, Kirara has a funny cat form where she can climb mountains and you will just jump on enemies. But there's better options than Kirara. She will also give you a decent shield. It's not very good though. I wouldn't recommend building her, but she's okay. Linne, I think he has good damage. I just don't like charge attack bow users. But I think his damage is almost as good as a lot of other charge attack bow users. Yeah, these two are probably pretty good. Weird mechanic where you need like combo points and he will deal more damage. The damage is more consistent with Ganyu. But damage-wise, I think Linne, maybe a little bit weaker, just a tiny bit weaker. Lynette, there's better options. She's okay. Could even put her, you don't need her. She's free though. She's free, so you will have her anyways. If you really just want to give her the Venera the scan set, I think it works, but you don't need her, to be honest. Freminette, he has a very weird kit. A mix of physical DPS and cryo. I think you can pair him up with Mika, probably, but you don't need him. He's very weird to play. Nuvalet, probably the strongest Hydro DPS in the game right now. He's a dragon. He's too strong to miss out on. Almost a must pull. So as you can see, like, these are like the top-notch DPS. Oh, Hu Tao is missing. There we go. I fixed it. Okay. I think these are like the top-notch damage characters in the game. These four. So Nuvalet is insane, especially in the Abyss. He has so much rain, he deals so much consistent damage. Just go for him. If you want a strong Hydro unit, he is the best one. Facts. Cryo unit, Risley. He is the #1 cryo DPS maybe. If you have some constellations on him. Otherwise, Ayaka will probably outperform him. And of course, Ganyu is also stronger. Where's Ganyu? Risley is pretty fun though. He's very fun to play. Also, a good combo with furina if you need like somebody who loses his own HP to have more stacks with fanfare. Maybe I should put him a little bit lower because his constellations matter a lot. But don't get me wrong, he can deal pretty crazy damage. He also is very, very fun. If you like a character that's like a beat 'em up character, like a Tekken unit, he's definitely the one to go for. Not the best damage, but very fun and decent damage. It's definitely okay to build him. Furina, not a must-have, but she is definitely the best off-field DPS unit. Also, you don't need her ult up, you don't need anything. You will already have the pets on the field. They will deal so much damage. My pets deal like 25 to 70,000 damage sometimes with Vaporize. Even 100,000 damage crits. I've seen it. She's insane. I would almost give her the must pull thing here. They lock the potential of the ult behind constellations. I think it's very mean what they did. Because if you want to get the full potential out of Furina, you need to have a character that will heal your whole team. And that means one spot is gone to make a good damage team. So you will not be able to make like a Furina, Kazuha, Bennett team. You will need one more healer and build a team around it. But if you have her C2, if you have constellations on her, it will get like so much easier to build up the fanfare, the damage bonus, and you will get the maximum out of her ult. And she's insane. She's one of the craziest buffers in the game. And I just believe in buffer supremacy. The best buffers in the game deserve the spot in the must pull section. But still, since it's locked in constellations, I just will not put her in the must pull. But she's almost a must pull. If you can get constellations, you should get it on Furina, Nahida, maybe even Kazuha. They have so good constellations. Charlotte, she's a decent healer, but I wouldn't recommend building her. It's not worth it. I tried it, Very clunky playstyle. Her ult needs a lot of energy. You will lack energy recharge. She has the best burst healing though in the game. She heals like for 15,000 if you heal with her burst once in like 1 second. It's insane. Just very clunky to play with. I wouldn't recommend it. Navia, we don't know yet, but I'm pretty sure that she's gonna be good, to be honest. I will not rate these two yet. Also, Shervy, we don't know yet at this point of making the video, but I believe she's gonna be a great damage buffer for Pyro and Electro, which means these two elements were already cracked and now they will get even better. I'm very curious how the meta will perform in the future, but this is my list as of right now. If you guys agree with me, let me know in the comments. Who do you not agree with? Where should I put somebody else? Let me also know in the comments. But yeah, this is the ultimate tier list. I think we made pretty right choices here. Pretty good. These are the 4 must pulls. If you want to watch more detailed video about the must pulls, I have another video up. I'm sorry that I couldn't go into detail with every character too much. I could maybe make another video with that, but this video took me like 50 minutes to record already, so you know what I mean. 74 characters. Here they are, 76 with the next update. Whew. Oh god, that was pretty exhausting. 74 characters rated. Pretty insane. It's been only 3 years, so maybe in the next 3 years we're gonna have 150 characters if you think about it. That's gonna be crazy. I'm looking forward to the future when Netland comes out, the Pyro continent, how the meta is gonna evolve and change. I'm just a little bit sick of the Dendro meta. Every Dendro unit is insane. Every Electro unit is insane. I cannot see it anymore, to be honest. But hey, that's it with this video. Took me a long time. I would really appreciate if you give this a thumbs up. And I see you in the next video, guys. If you subscribe. Thank you for watching. Bye bye.